Hello, everyone, as Carl Haas used to say during Adventures in Good Music on NPR. This is Douglas Bach for your 110th live chat, broadcasting live from the great city of Portland, Oregon, the city of roses. Today's date is May 5th, 2019, El Cinco de Mayo, the great festival celebrated by the Mexicans, their victory against the French, and now it's become a kind of an international holiday like Oktoberfest, heavily promoted by the beer companies. Yes, we have all sorts of festivals here in Portland. And at New Seasons, we have a deal, half price on chips and guacamole. Anyway, Anna X from Holland, wow, cool. Exotic Enigma, cool for you. Catherine Goldie from Scotland, the International, and Stephen Dennett from Canada. Mobius Zero from Florida. They're all over the map. So, Portland, Oregon made international news on Friday, with the Portland Trailblazers winning in four, not one, not two, not three, four overtimes against the Denver Nuggets in the third game of their semifinal series in the NBA. Did anybody see that game or anybody hear about it? It was friggin' amazing. Not since 1953. That was 66 years ago. The Boston Celtics beat the Syracuse Nationals in four overtimes. Probably none of you, remember that time, but I do. That's what happens when you get older. Turning 70, actually turned 70 on February 22nd. George Washington's birthday, that's why I cannot tell a lie. And the truth is, this is my favorite time of the week. Hanging out with you guys from all over the world, answering your questions about depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, the meaning of life, reincarnation, anything else you want to ask me. All right, Jason, I haven't seen you yet or heard from you yet. Clulau, where are you from? Mobius Zero was missed last Sunday. Ireland from Serenable. RT Titan, haven't heard you before. Hello, Catherine Goldie. Anyway, nobody mentioned about the Portland Trailblazers and the four overtime victory. Oh well. So, let's start out with a joke. The Laugh Out Loud book for kids. There's actually three volumes of this, and I need to... I had a seizure, Danielle. Oh, I love you from Houston. You beat my Golden State Warriors last night. Shame, shame, shame. Benzodiazepines, and I don't want them anymore. How did they give you a seizure, Danielle? Only when you come off them do they usually give you a seizure. Jason, UK. It was great to see Boston win. Oh, they did? I thought they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in the third game. Toronto, Canada. Canadians. We got guys from the UK. We got people from... nobody from Germany yet. We have to wait for our friend MD Nixon to come. What do you count? No, I won't even. This is too bad. What do you get when you cross a fish and a kitten? A piranha. Oh, that is. Okay. What type of bull doesn't have horns? A bullfrog. And what do rain clouds wear under their clothes? Thunderwear. One of my favorites. All right, Aunt Max, you came from Germany. I just manifested you, not MD Nixon. We got two people from Germany on this live chat, Max B, MD Nixon. Hi from France. Well, God, we are truly international. Nobody has yet talked about the Portland Trailblazers. Come on, guys. Fourth game is at 4 p.m. Be there or be square. Mazel tov. All right. Oh, that's a nice Jewish term. Are you from the Yiddish persuasion? SB, Stephanie, nice to see you. We're going to do our little... that's right. Thank you for reminding me, Stephanie. I almost forgot about it. At 1 o'clock today, Pacific time, I'm doing my second part of the Healing Power of Affirmations, a webinar I'm giving over the internet for the Unity School, actually Unity Spiritual Explorers at 1 o'clock my time. So I'm going to get off the air around 12:45 so I can prepare for that 1 hour seminar. Thank you for going ahead and reminding me. All right, what are my thoughts on excessive masturbation, damaging dopamine receptors? Well, anytime that you have excessive pleasure of any kind, cocaine, alcohol, methamphetamine, especially the drugs that really go for the dopamine, like cocaine and methamphetamine and anything, gambling, the dopamine receptors get a flood of dopamine, and after a while they just get burned out. So yes, I completely agree with you that it is like any excessive form of pleasure. It is bad for your physical health, mental health, and spiritual health, and also for your brain. Louise, hey, do you think it's wrong that I have to have two wives and both of them are sisters? Well, I'm not here to judge anybody's morality, but I wonder what the sisters think about it. And by the way, happy Cinco de Mayo. I certainly don't think, they'd have to be exceptional women to go ahead and deal with it. I certainly wouldn't go there. Blazers and Nuggets. Thank you, Oliver. I had a few series coming off Cymbalta. My doctor thought 2 weeks was long enough. Wrong. Okay, Lazy Eye Wrench, tomorrow, May 6th, 2019, I'm posting a new video called How to Come Off Antidepressants Very Slowly. Article in the New York Times saying any doctor who thinks you can come off of those drugs in 2 to 4 weeks doesn't know what they're talking about. And that's according to the article, not according to me. I don't prescribe drugs, but 2 British researchers found that that's not enough time. You need 6 months to 2 years to come off of these drugs. And Cymbalta, I've heard anecdotally, is one of the worst, like Paxil. So I empathize with you. Akathisia is horrible. You know I went through it when I had a bad reaction to Effexor. And you can get over it over time. Drink a lot of water, do acupuncture, prayer, everything. JR90, hi Doug, Mobius, nice to see you getting a new therapist. Excellent. Any advice for depersonalization or derealization? I've never been through it, but my clients and my group members who have said, you just have to kind of ignore it and not latch onto it. Just sort of focus on stuff and not try to obsess about it. I don't know what else to say, but my friend Noah Thomas and Big Don't Know has done some stuff, and I got to do a video on it, even though I myself have never dealt with it, but it's such a problem. Anybody invented flaxseed? Yes, I was on Effexor. It didn't work, but it was one time. It actually is a good medication for many people. Not today. I'm doing much better after 5 years of severe depression. Not today. You are majorly troopers, lasting for 5 years, hanging out there. That's pretty damn good. Exotic Enigma. My Effexor and Lamictal is still working, but I have vomiting in the morning from one of them. Wow, ask your doctor. By the way, does anybody here know what enigma means? I mean, that's a great word. Enigma means somebody who's mysterious and unfathomable. Is that you? I'm on lamotrigine too and trazodone. Good medications. All right. Someone said they were scared of being alone. Who is this? Stephen. Why do I feel like I need a woman in my life and I'm so scared of being alone? Well, I don't know. You could have had some separation anxiety from early days. You could have had some trauma where you were abandoned like I was. It's hard for me to be alone too. So, but I can tell you one thing, we have to eventually rely on ourselves and our connection to our higher power. Women and men and anybody out there is not going to save us, yet human beings need companionship. We're social animals. So of course we need other people, but you should definitely be in therapy and talk about that with your therapist. My heart goes out to you. By the way, our little live chat button here at the bottom of the screen, you guys have been very generous. A little dollar sign, click on it. Anybody who gives more than $5 will get a free ebook of what I consider the best thing I've ever written. It's called When Going Through Hell Don't Stop, A Survivor's Guide to Anxiety and Clinical Depression, written by me after a 9-month life-threatening depressive illness where I didn't think I was going to survive day to day, high self-harm thoughts all the time. I made it through and I wrote about it, and it is still really helpful to many people. Shalom. Exotic enigma, you must be Jewish. Hey, from London, shalom to you, health, peace. I have to throw up every morning. Could it be from 30 milligrams of Remeron? I have no idea why you're throwing up every morning. Thanks. I got my own. Thank you, Joan. My wonderful, loving partner, Joan, has just given me this thing, which I basically, for any donation, you get this free self-care activities to improve your mood. It took me 20 years to put this together. There's also another side that says boost your psychological immune system. And many of you have requested it. I'm more than happy to send it out. Anyway, as I say, a donation of any amount on the Super Chat. Susan Jones, one of my favorite live chatters. I'm really struggling. Can anybody recommend a resource for adult survivors of child abuse? Oh my God, that is really, you have complicated PTSD. Yes, find somebody who specializes in it. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score or Knows the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. Yeah, so I'm glad you called suicide prevention. Excellent. You must be talking about this number, 800 273 82. I think that's it, right? That's the number. Being alone is hard. I spend almost a month out there in complete isolation when the bridge washed out. I couldn't leave my house. I was bad. I still haven't recovered, but I know you're doing better. So, Susan, there's a very famous book called The Body Keeps the Score. I think that's the title. And I don't even know if I pronounce spelling this guy B-A-N. Oh, they don't even, autocorrect is bad. Something like, I don't know if I spelled his name correctly, but I certainly have a hard time. Something like Bessel van der Kerk, something like that. The Body Keeps the Score. A very, very good book for people who survive trauma. Also, there are many good books on child abuse, sexual abuse, The Courage to Heal. There's resources out there, Susan. You just have to find the right help. There are people out there who can help you overcome that trauma. I just gave you a book. Don't you live in Virginia? Somebody lives in Virginia that is on here a lot. I think you live in Virginia, don't you? There must be some good resources. Virginia is a civilized state last time I checked. Thank you so very much, and may the God of Israel be with you. Hey, I'll take that any day. I've always wanted to go to Israel. Susan Jones, look up Lisa A. Romano here on YouTube. That's right. Very good. God, Luis, you have such amazingly good suggestions. I just love it when you make your comments. At any rate, yes, God bless your heart. Look at all these people. And also praying for you. 1-816 969 2000. Silent Unity. You go call them up, Susan, and tell them what you're going through. I guarantee you, they're going to pray for you for 30 days and you're going to feel better. I can guarantee it, completely guarantee it. Okay, I'm going to put Lisa Romano's name down here. And then I'm going to go back to where we were and continue where we left off. Not today. Susan Jones, I know the hell you're going through. Be brave and you will make it through. God bless your heart. To Douglas, thank you for being here for us. Thank you. Susan, I will do. I'm desperate. Thank you. Susan, you got to hang in there. Look, if you really feel like you need to get some more personal consult, send me an email, douglasblock@gmail.com, right here. Email me anytime. I think you and I might have emailed once or twice. I don't know, but here it is, douglasblock@gmail.com. There are lots of resources. My partner had abuse in her childhood. I know a lot of people who did. There are treatments. There is help. Oh, you've called Silent Unity. Well, cool. Well, keep it up. Andrea M., nice to see you again. Janelle Harold, do you have any recommendations to reduce chronic nightmares? There is a specific medication that is helpful. You'll have to ask your psychiatrist. I forgot the name of it. Susan, we're all hear from you. Yeah, Bach Rescue House. There's a particular, I'll have to call my friend. Email me again and I'll look it up for you, but I don't remember the name exactly. Susan, you're going to make it. I promise you. Send me an email. And a survival of sexual abuse, says Christina Fino. As a male, I was molested when I was 3. I was assaulted years old. I was 22 by 2 people. How do I cope? Well, again, you too need to go through a therapy that deals with trauma. There's something called EMDR. Susan, have you tried it? What's the keys to beating GAD? Oh, there's so many things for generalized anxiety disorder: exercise, meditation, mindfulness, putting your face in cold water, maybe using medications every now and then. I just did a 2-day webinar on that called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain. Anyway, Susan Jones and the other person who had abuse, there's a therapy called EMDR. It was developed to help people release trauma in the past. I don't know if you've tried it. Swimming for GAD, excellent. Matter of fact, in my book, I talked about swimming for my life. T-Mac 0192, are you still a little Patreon supporter? Thank you. It's great to see you again. Lisa Romano's meditations on healing the inner child are very soothing. Betty Boop, thank you so much. I put this on for my mom who suffers from depression. Thanks for the advice. God bless you. Everyone in the chat. Well, there we have it. We can always use prayers and positive things. And X, I'm so glad I found this chat. It helps me to know I'm not alone. Oh my God, of course you're not alone. 1 out of every 8 people in America suffers from depression. 40 million people suffer from anxiety. Mental illness is a worldwide problem. By 2020, which is next year, depression will be the most disabling disease in the world. And speaking of which, 2 weeks from today is the NAMI walk. Are you guys participating in those walks wherever you live in America? National Alliance on Mental Illness, a walk to raise money for their services like Walk for the Cure. Very important to show our support. Max B, I've had DPDR for 4 years now after I've eaten weed butter. Yep. Pacemaker implanted 2 years ago. I'm getting better, but it's still a struggle. I hope I'm on the right path. Hey Max, I'm doing a video on DPDR. Could you write me and let me know your experience? I need to have someone else I can interview because I haven't been it myself. DouglasBlock@gmail.com. Again, any amount of the chat that you donate, you will get a free copy of that chart, and $5 you'll get my book, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop. There's this guy, David Holden from Great Britain. He used to always come out here and just really start the ball rolling with $10 contributions. I sent him a signed copy of my book. I wonder where he is right now. I'll have to give him a call. I hope he's doing better or staying better. You tried EMDR? Well, you know what? Try it again. Try it with a different therapist, Susan. Just, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Not everybody is equally skilled at EMDR. And I was not able to say any of the notes on my phone. Had to go on the computer, okay? Philip Combs. Hi, sir. God bless you for what you do. Thank you. Lazy Ranch. I learned about avoiding your restrictive food intakes disorder. Well, from Lisa Morano, I have this problem. It's hard for me to eat enough. Really, I love to eat Lazy Eye Ranch. You just need some good Jewish cooking, or how about some good Italian cooking, or how about some Thai food? Boy, I never met a food I didn't like. Janelle Harrell, on Effexor, on good days I have a burst of energy and then I crash. Is that a form of mania? I don't know. You have to go to a really good qualified, mental health therapist. You could be crashing because you're eating too much sugar. So again, and by the way, for people who have bipolar, Effexor can induce mania. So you might have a really valid question there, but you can only know by getting somebody to diagnose you in person. And you should definitely talk to your psychiatrist about these cycles. Should I take SSRIs? Well, it all depends. I always think that you should use lifestyle habits first and go to medication second, but maybe, you're severely depressed. Again, you should contact a doctor. Never give up. Susan, of course, Stephanie says. I'll keep trying. Thank you. Yes, never give up. Seriously. Go to Psychology Today, find a therapist. That is what saved my life when I found a man who named Philip Andrews, or Joseph Andrews, who referred me to ECT. Susan, if you go ahead and email me, I will send you the link. And give me your zip code. There's an amazing website that Psychology Today has listing all the therapists, all their specialties. There are so many people in America who know what they're doing. There's never been a better time to be mentally ill, at least in the United States. I say that kind of, with a little bit of sarcasm, but no, it's absolutely true. What is EMDR? It's eye movement desensitization reprocessing. You should look it up in Wikipedia. It's a technique using rapid eye movement to treat trauma. Roz Reynolds, nice to see you again. I've been off Lamictal and Wellbutrin for 4.5 months. Thought my symptoms were causing recurrent Crohn's and went off and still have symptoms. I'm so depressed I need help. Well, there are things you can do for Crohn's diet. There's something called the GAPS diet, GAPS. Go to your gastroenterologist or your internist and talk about that. Send me an email, Susan, please. Yes, Crohn's. We had 2 members of my support group who had Crohn's. It's very, very, it's like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. It's very, very difficult. Well, 18 minutes into the hour. Nice to see you all. Lots of questions, lots of participation. Oh, trigeminal neuralgia, says Lazy Eye Ranch. Chewing is painful. That's a horrible illness. My good friend had that brain surgery. Yeah, weed helps most because it forces me to get hungry. Excellent. It also takes away pain. Smarks Kill Wrestling, you're back again. Is waking up extremely tired, no motivation due to low serotonin, no norepinephrine. I never have any energy, but caffeine helps me a lot. Well, it could be something with your thyroid. It could be something with all sorts of things, not just depression. Low thyroid. You need to get that checked out by your doctor. Get a whole battery of tests to rule out any medical conditions. I can't go out with friends when I chew. I cry. Can't help it. Tears flow because it hurts so badly. Well, if you're their friends, they'll understand. By the way, why don't you get like protein shakes and smoothies and something called Ensure? I know it's got a lot of crap in it, like sugar, but when people need to put on weight, they give that stuff to them in the hospital. It's a prepackaged drink with a lot of calories. And again, you should talk to your dentist or some professional about your chewing issues. You think, hey, MD Nixon from Germany, you and my friend Max B. I can't get my favorite study subject. My grades are not good enough. Don't know what to do. Well, it's tough. Talk with your academic counselor about that. Don't worry, Susan Jones. I will do what I can to help you. I will immediately, put in the subject line, psychology today, find a therapist. Karina B. Hey, Douglas, can you talk to us about your diet? I love to go to McDonald's, Burger King, and Jack in the Box. I can't figure out which one I like more. No, I'm completely BSing you. That's not true. I've been into health foods culture since 1976. I essentially eat a whole food, plant-based diet. No meat, no chicken, some fish, some dairy, mostly fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds, mostly organic. Certainly nothing processed in a bag like banana chips. Why do you want to eat banana chips? Just eat bananas. What about, plantain chips? Just eat plantains. So yeah, I try to go as, I try to get something when it grows out of the ground and not when it's processed. Let me see. You put me on Entrecort 3 months ago. I'm so depressed. I don't know what that is. Did that answer your question about the diet, Karina B? What's my relationship to food? I like it. Do you believe that food could be a cure to depression and anxiety? Well, I know that fish oil is very helpful for omega-3 fatty acids. Certain foods are good. I think protein is good, complex carbohydrates. I don't think there's a food that cures depression, but I think there's a food that gets your body more in balance, which could help. It's part of, it's part of the whole total holistic program that I talk about in my, in this little chart, self-care activities to improve your mood. All right, hey, still no donations yet. We're 22 minutes into the hour, halfway through our 45 minutes. As I said, I have a seminar coming up, a webinar from 1 to 2. Speaking of protein shakes, here it is. Almond milk, a greens powder, some really good vegan protein, and what else? Oh, coffee, of course. That's why I'm being able to keep my eyes open here. So yeah, Lazy Eye Ranch, try doing shakes. You don't have to swallow or chew. What do you think of suicide to escape a nuclear war? Just curious. I think it's ridiculous, and I think you have to. Anytime you have that obsession about war, you need to go cancel, and focus on something positive. Mobius. All right, Boaz Williams Bradley. When talking to people, I always feel like I'm going to make a mistake. I'm worried about offending people. I feel like a form of paranoia. It is social anxiety. No, I think that you're just anxious. You're just anxious. Go to a person who specializes in anxiety disorders. Cod liver oil for the brain, yes. Lots of vitamin D and A, I believe. Black magic, hey, nice to hear from you again. I think you wrote me. You suffer from anhedonia and PTSD. I feel strongly that if the anhedonia were cured, I could tackle other problems. Well, anhedonia is a symptom of depression. It isn't treated like depression. It's part of depression. So yes, everything I talk about in my book, physical, emotional, mental, self-care, social support, lifestyle habits, and medication if that's appropriate. So yes, you can treat anhedonia. Yeah, that's how it is in college. You should talk to an academic advisor about that. Yep, you're right, Mobius. You're excellent advice. Patty Brady from Ireland. Oh my God. When I'm depressed, I put a lot of weight on without eating much. That's unusual. Usually when people are depressed and they don't eat much, they lose weight. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's a medication. Well, found a wonderful recipe this week, says Lazy Eye Ranch. A drink made with almond milk, turmeric, ginger, a bit of black pepper, raw honey, and anti-inflammatory. Well, see, you're already on the stick, Lazy Eye Ranch. When you go out with friends, just bring your own food. That's what a friend of mine does. Have you ever heard of misophenia? Severe noise sensitivity. Wow. I've heard of, people with autism, not that you're autistic, are sensitive to loud sounds. I was sensitive to loud sounds as a kid, and I had Asperger's, although it wasn't diagnosed at the time. So yeah, I've heard of the symptom, but never the term. Thank you, Karina Key. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but I gave you some sort of advice just recently. Vitamin B complex and fish omega-3 supplements. Thank you, Rich Smith. Very good for the mind. Okay. Yeah, Ricky Rick asked a question about sexual addiction. Yep, that's something. Again, it alters the dopamine receptors. Again, and it's certainly, I can understand why people get into it. I know many people have. It's just, again, it's not a long-term solution. To really change your mood and doing something constructive. But it's really easy to fall into. I would suggest you get help from a therapist. There's also Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous 12-step groups. Oh, magnesia. Thank you, Anna X. That's good for anxiety. Karina B. Nice to see your little emoji. Lifestyle habit rather than medication. First I heard you say that. Awesome. Yeah, well, not rather than. Try it first. Medication does have a place if nothing else works. Thanks, but I've been tested. Thyroid is okay. I suffer from insomnia, but now I sleep a lot with no energy and motivation. I also dream a lot. Well, the brain's a very complex thing, Smarks, and I'm not quite sure what to say except, keep reaching out for answers. I feel guilty about my DPDR experience. I don't get along well with my mother since then. At least my father's supportive. Well, that's good. Also, send me an email. I want to know more about DPDR, depersonalization, derealization. I want to do video on it. MD Nixon says, do you think there's a solution for my problem with finding the right study subject? Well, guess what? Even if you don't get a major in the thing you like when you get out of college, I know you can always go to graduate school in it. Bob Dylan dropped out of college, Steve Jobs, so did Paul Allen. Many successful people haven't even graduated from college. So, I'm not quite sure, but in America at least, it's the graduate school you go to that makes a difference. An undergraduate degree maybe qualifies you to work at a fast food restaurant. So, I'm not quite sure what subject you're wanting to study and where you are, but again, academic advisor, and I don't know what the situation is in Germany in terms of opportunities, but do what you can to treat your depression, feel better, and maybe you can do better in school and qualify to study the right subject. Roz Reynolds says, and somebody gave a $10 donation. Thank you very much. I'm going to collect Roz Reynolds. Thanks, dear. You're the top person on Super Chat right now. Is there a question you have for me? By the way, I grew up in a place called Roslyn, Roslyn, on Long Island. So thank you for your donation, Roz. And by the way, please email me and I will send you a free copy of this ebook, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop, A Survivor's Guide to Overcoming Anxiety and Depression. I will send that to you at no charge if you just email me. Is waking up, oh, okay, right. So let's go back to some more questions. Wow. I've been on a few of your live chats, says Karina B, before, but I didn't have the courage to say anything, though I felt like saying so many things. Well, keep talking. I'm glad I was able to. Susan McDonald, maybe you're the person from Virginia. Anyway, Susan Jones, hang in there, dear. I know you've had abuse, but you can overcome it. The brain is neuroplastic. You can heal. Believe me, I've been in the mental hospital or psych ward 5 times, and I've gotten out all 5. My friend calls me the escaped mental patient. Anyway, no, human beings are resilient. I mean, why are we still on the planet? We're incredibly resilient beings. You can get the email, Raoub. I would like you to make some donation to live chat. That would be nice. I can certainly send you a copy of my chart if you go ahead and email me. I want to study psychology, but you need a very good grade average to study it. No, you don't. You just need to take a course in Psych 101, is what I remember. I have a degree in psychology, actually 2 of them. Susan Jones, do you think some of us were born to mostly struggle? Absolutely. I'm one such person. Should I stop expecting different in order to lessen hopelessness? Well, I think, Susan, you know that you have a chronic condition called depression, but here's the point. You can't overcome it. As our friend Nietzsche from Germany said, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. So even though you have to overcome stuff in this struggle, it doesn't mean you can't overcome it and have some joy in your life. So life is more difficult for some people than others, absolutely. But you know what? Every great person in history has had adversity to overcome. Adversity builds character. And so you are one of those people who just you didn't have the easy road, but you can definitely overcome it. And once you do, you'll be able to help other people in your situation. So yes, the struggle is there, but the opportunity is to become a wounded healer. So yes, hopelessness is a part of depression, but there's always help. You should look at one of my videos called a reason to hope during hard times. That will definitely help. Send me your email and I will send you the list of psychotherapists in your area. Okay, Leah's Your Ranch. I've been listening to the audiobook Michelle Obama's biography, Becoming. Oh yeah, she's a phenomenal person. Rao Shama Susan, M. Deferred, You Don't Worry. MD Nixon says, thank you, Mobius. You gave me hope. That was nice of you, Mobius. Luis Corrales, Mobius, I'm very proud and impressed with how much you've improved from just a few months ago. I would want to second that emotion from Luis Corrales. Again, happy Cinco de Mayo, Luis. Jason, Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going. Yes, and I went ahead and took that and I changed it to when going through hell, don't stop, which I think is better. Sorry, Winston. I know you're a great orator and you save Western civilization, but I think I have a better phrase than you do. How's that for delusions of grandeur? Unity 617, I grew up with a critical mother who would give me silent treatment often. Oh my God, talk about my experience. Although my mother never gave me the silent treatment, thank God. I understand this is a form of emotional abuse, yes. I'm sensitive to it in my relationships. Any advice? Absolutely. Go into therapy, talk to the inner child that got criticized and love that part of yourself. And tell that person that you love it and are always there for that little boy, no matter what anybody says. Parent yourself, and it will help you become less sensitive in relationships. Again, work on this with a therapist. Anything I say, any recommendation I make must be followed up with a mental health professional. I am not doing counseling over the internet. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not treating. I'm just giving you my experience and giving you ideas. Like, think of me as like a Wikipedia of mental illness. You made my evening. Well, thank you, Karina. You must be in the somewhere in Europe. Ian Clare, hello, Douglas. I'm glad to be here. Found your videos by chance. They're definitely of great help. Well, there is no such thing as chance. You know, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous, said Bernie Siegel, one of the great healers of the 20th century. You should read his book, Love, Medicine, and Miracles. SB, my mother did the same and still does. Did what? I can't, SB? Let me know. You know, it's hard to remember what you're referring to, but I'm glad I'm not quite sure. Oh, you mean giving you the silent treatment? Well, that's not a good thing, is it? By the way, there's been a plane crash in Russia. Well, sorry to hear that. All right. What is this? Jokes for videos. Where did I get a lot of them? From you guys. You sent them in to me. Let's find a recent one. I love math. I was a math major. Who invented the round table? Was it Sir Arthur? Was it Sir Lancelot? No, it was circumference. How about this? As a math teacher, what was my favorite dessert? I know, Lazy Eye Ranch, you don't like to eat, but I had one favorite dessert as a math teacher. It was pie. Come on, let's hear some groans. Why, you know, I love marriage. I think people are made to be with each other, but there was a dentist and a manicurist who got married. It didn't work out. Why? They fought tooth and nail. And here's my final one. I was a dentist getting my cavity filled, and I do not like to go to dentists. It's horrible. When I was young, my brother always went first. But as I was being put under the anesthesia, I thought to myself, I wish this guy would retire. You know, and what did the dentist do after he retired? Well, he joined the Army and he became a drill sergeant. Get it? A drill sergeant. The dentist became a drill sergeant. Okay, I want to hear some laughs. You know, that was good. I made that up on the spot. All right, 33 minutes after the hour, 12 minutes to go before I check out of here. It's a beautiful day. The Portland Trail Blazers are playing in exactly 3 hours and 20 minutes against the Denver Nuggets. They haven't been to the finals since the year 2000. It means nothing to most of you. Absolutely nothing to most of you. The people in Portland, it's a big deal. So pray for the Trailblazers. Okay. And X, there's no trust in relationships because I feel unworthy. Well, you know, too bad you're not taking my affirmation seminar, because you could learn about affirmations of worthiness. Just say, I deserve love. Write that down a couple of times. And also, you know, talk about it with your therapist. Boaz Williams Bradley, I still have trouble bringing myself to study. All I do is work and sit in bed all day eating chocolate. You're giving yourself pleasure, you know. I understand the impulse. Sean, see when you had agitated examination, did you have crazy racing thoughts? Oh, they weren't crazy. They were just thoughts saying electric shock for Douglas Bach, the river Styx in 96, suicidal ideation is the hit across the nation. Yeah, I had psychotic crazy thoughts when I was agitated. Absolutely. Also, I'll never get out of this alive. Turned out to be not true. Hey, Jason, you laughed at one of my jokes. Thank you. Susan McDonald, praying for you, Susan Jones. My Christian faith is my base to finding hopefulness in life. Not that I don't struggle, but I just rely on God, get a support like therapy. Well, good for you. That's turning it over to your higher power. Just let me know which one of you lives in Virginia. But no, Susan McDonald, that's beautiful you said that. And faith can really help. And it's something, today's the birthday of Søren Kierkegaard, the great Danish philosopher. And he introduced the concept of something called the leap of faith. That means in order to believe in God, you have to have doubt first. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. But if you have doubt and you choose to have faith anyway, that's called a leap of faith. That's a very common idea in Western theology. And obviously you've made that leap of faith, and not everybody can do that. I do believe in a higher power, infinite intelligence. It has saved my life many, many times. I do believe I have guardian angels. All right, Moby Zero. I'm glad you liked the joke. I love going to dinners. It sounds weird, but it sounds like a meditation for me. Well, good, MD Nixon. You're God bless you. How does one deal with avoidant personality disorder? Well, that's very, very good. Cesar de Jesus, happy Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, it's a very, very good question. Yeah, well, avoidant personality disorder, fear, it's kind of like social anxiety. Again, therapy. Again, you need to get help to work yourself out of that box. Susan Jones, thanks Susan McDonald's. To both Susans, says prayers, Stephanie Bacon, who's got a child named Christopher P, and so we call him Chris P. Bacon. Now, that's just something Stephanie and I made up. My parents were so wonderful. It didn't prepare me for the real cruel world. Daddy always reminded me of Atticus Finch. Mom was like Aunt B. I've had so much love and acceptance. Well, at least that's a good foundation that you got, Lazy Eye Ranch. Even though you've been around some really bad people, remember, you are loved, you deserve to be here, and remember your parents' love for you. Boaz Williams Bradley, 2 pounds, thank you. Any tips for getting out of bed or any self-discipline? Yes. I used to have friends call me up, have me recite my vision statement, and then I'd meet somebody at the gym or the pool. It's good to have other people encouraging you and supporting you. Evenings make me sad. Bourgeoisie, nice to see you. Now, usually for people with chronic depression, oftentimes evenings give respites. 37 minutes after the hour, 58 people watching. Today is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2019. In 6 minutes, I'm going to sign off, get ready for my next seminar. But guess what? Next Sunday, I'll be able to be with you the entire hour. That is May 12th. But May 19th, Sunday, I'm going to be doing the NAMI walk for mental health, leaving here at 12:30. So I think what I'm going to do is start at 11:30, a half hour early, and so I can give you guys your full hour. But I will be leaving my house at 12:30 to walk for mental health, raise money for mental health services. There's not enough money in mental health, not enough people who are treated or diagnosed. We have to do something about that. Contact the National Alliance of Mental Illness. I know it's in your webinar, but can you tell us some good affirmation for depression? Wow. This too shall pass is one of the best ones. I can have a joyful life. How did your seminar go last weekend? Very, very well. I loved it. Why don't you email me, MD Nixon? I'll try to see if I can give you some good affirmation for depression. But the joy of the Lord is my strength. If you into the Bible. But just I can heal. I can heal, and I will heal. Did you ever have racing thoughts of going through? Oh, you already had this. Yes, I had racing thoughts during agitated depression, many of them. I grew up being trusting. That hasn't served me well. I've been too naive. Yes, same with me. Well, then you need to be a little bit discerning, Lazy Eye Ranch. Trust in God but tie your camel is the old, Arab proverb, right? You have to have some sort of defenses in this world because it is a world with negativity. Even though I do believe that good is greater than evil, and there's certainly more love in this world than there is hate. Love will always triumph over hate. A lorry had crashed carrying toupees. The police are combing the area. That's very funny, Jason. Thank you. There was a cartoonist murdered in his home. Police are trying to figure it out, but details are sketchy. I just made that up. Claire, that's a good question. What is the Claire? Oh, if you could one tip for anyone suffering from general anxiety, what would it be? I would say that stay in the present breathe and get back to the present, because in the present you're safe. Usually anxiety is about fear of the future. Also, exercise, exercise, exercise. And just tell yourself you're safe. Return to the present moment anytime you get worried about what's yet to happen. Again, I had a whole seminar on it I did for 2 weeks. You may want to look at my video called How to Rewire Your Anxious Brain, by the way. I'll write that down. All right, and here's the name of my YouTube video that talks all about anxiety. I'm just typing it right in here so you can go find it. And there's, I think Claire Weeks has a good YouTube channel on anxiety. And hit the button, folks. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what hit the button, folks. If you mean the button with the $ for live chat. Feeling Good book was told to do the exercise, and you know about it. Of course, Feeling Good has been around. It's a classic in cognitive therapy. It was one of the first books that talked about cognitive behavioral therapy. It's very good. Well, you turn someone down because your dog hated the person. Well, that's good. Maybe your dog is your protector. I can't think straight. I'm sorry, folks. Don't worry about it. You're in a lot of stress. Susan Jones, is there a friend you can call? Is there somebody you know you can just hang out with for a while? Just try to get some human touch and human love and human compassion. We always respond to other people. We need other people. So see if you can call someone up and hang out with them for a little bit. It helps remember that life is in fact very hard, but most importantly, God made us even tougher. Well, that's a nice thing. You know, tough times never last, but tough people do, said the great evangelical minister Robert Schuller. I love that phrase. Tough times never last, but tough people do. If there could be one advice I would give anybody going through a difficult episode, whether it's depression, anxiety, DPDR, it's hang in there, never give up, this too shall pass. There have been so many times when I thought I was just done, toast, it was all over, I'd never get better. Times when I thought about, taking myself out, but I just continued my long suffering, and eventually, I experienced grace, and that's been true of every single person in my support groups and every person I've coached long distance. By the way, I do coaching long distance, and they've all come through. Yes, well, my channel picture is I don't wear my glasses, and yeah, that's probably the main reason. All right, you personally made me understand what I was going through with sexual addiction in a matter of seconds. It was because of the dopamine receptors where all this therapist sucked I connect with. Well, yes, of course. There are read a book called Out of the Shadows, Rick, on sexual addiction by Patrick Carnes. If you want to understand sexual addiction, this is a really good book. It's been around for a while, but it's a classic if you believe you're dealing with that. And I guarantee you will not be disappointed. I'm a wealth of information. My friend says Douglas Block, DB stands for data bank. Well, I just love to read and absorb stuff. 43 minutes, 47 seconds, 1 minute and 13 seconds left before I say hello. You do give me hope, thank you. Susan, I promise you, if you don't give up, you will see the light of day. Again, email me, I'll send you a link to where you can find therapists. You have to believe me, Susan Jones. You have no idea how desperate I've been. Have no idea how down I've been. Here. Check this out, Susan. Send me your email address. I'll send you a copy of this book. If you want to know how low you can get, just read my story. I'm finally about to cough. Jason says, I get knocked down, but I get up again. 7 times down, 8 times up. Trendsetter, $10. You came through at the last minute. Thank you. Again, send me your email address, and you got a free copy of my ebook, When Going to Hell Don't Stop. And I'm coughing. It just means that I am. Why my calendar came up. What is going on with this thing over here? Well, I'm not going to pay any attention to it. Okay, and what are you going to write me about, MD Nixon? Leah McGowan, your 9 seconds, I'm leaving in 9 seconds. Thank you for being here. From Buffalo, New York, how's the weather? It's beautiful in Portland. I hear you've been re-diagnosed. You don't have borderline personality disorder anymore. You have something else. Probably a relief. It's hard to sign an ebook. That's the problem.
Hi, Douglas.
Hey, I'm just finishing up my live chat. I'll be right with you. Did you hear the hi, Douglas? Somebody is now appearing on the webinar. I need to switch computers. So keep safe, everybody. Well, MD Nixon, you wrote about health anxiety. Well, all I can say is I want to do a video on it. I don't know much about it, except you have to keep telling yourself that these thoughts are not real and come back to reality. Otherwise, I don't know a whole lot about how to treat it, but you can tell me more about what you're going through. But I would recommend finding a therapist who specializes in that. 61 degrees, taping off Klonopin, feeling good. Excellent. I'm glad you're doing well. And Ben Malcolm, hey, you just came at the last minute. Say this to help. I'm getting better every day in every way. Every way and every day I'm getting better and better. Yeah, Joel Osteen, by the way, I'm not usually into regular evangelical Christianity, but Joel Osteen has a lot of good ideas and a lot of good self-help stuff. Well, see everybody next week. Have a blessed day. Please cheer for the Trailblazers. If they win, I'll be happy next week. If not, well, you'll see me depressed and you guys can give me some advice. Hang in there, everybody. I can send you a physical copy, but I really need some postage. It just cost me like $7 just to send a copy. So if you want to email me that, you can email me. I mean, you can pay me via PayPal, and my PayPal address is douglasblock@gmail.com. And I mean, I'll give you the book, but the postage is exorbitant. I think it's $9.95. So Trendsetter, use your PayPal, or you can donate something after we go off the air. But yeah, I can send you a copy of the book, but if you could cover the postage, that would be great. Anyway, have a great week, everybody, and I wish you the best. Virtuous Woman, nice of you to be here in the last minute. Some of my favorite people have come at the end. Leanne, Virtuous Woman. All of you are my favorite people. Susan Jones, remember, hang in there. You and Susan McDonald should exchange emails, connect with each other, support each other. We can't do it on our own. We have to basically heal in community, and thank God we have each other. All of you live chatters, you've got each other, you've got me, you've got your therapist, you've got your friends and family. There's a whole community out there is waiting to support you. So don't give up, hang in there, and all will be well. See you next Sunday at noon.